this wobbly. Hello, Internet. Step here. Anybody else here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Tams is eating chocolate cake.
No, I'm eating a chocolate bar.
Step here from Kink Geek with Tams. And we're,
Can you see that?
Yes.
This is what I'm eating. It's really weird.
Dollar store cake bar. Anyway, we are here to do an unboxing. We don't usually do this kind of thing, although, you know, we might if people respond well. I'm just super excited because this box, this glorious magical box, is full of my new commander decks.
Now, we will hopefully be doing some unboxing of also kink-related stuff at some point. That would be good.
We're in negotiations right now to figure that out, but for now, we're trying to test our capabilities, and I thought that opening my brand new case of commander boxes was the best way to do that. It's exciting. It's exciting for me, at least. Oh. Oh.
Oh, look at that.
All right.
Which one did you grab first? The one you wanted?
It's my boys. Tiro and Tiniros. Tiniros and Tiros. Of Miletus. So these are... There's Brea, Ethereum Sculptor.
I've been using the name Brea in MMOs forever. I was really sad when they stole my name.
This is the one that's being the most sort of touted at the moment, although I think people have built lists for all of the new Commander series. Traxa, Saskia, and Yidris, who people also really want to play.
So for people who don't know what a commander deck is, do you want to explain that?
So Magic the Gathering is the game that we always talk about and play sometimes. And Commander Deck is a 100-card singleton deck, which means that there's only one of any given card other than basic land in the deck. And you play a game against either multiplayers or one-on-one with these 100-card decks using a legendary creature as your commander. So, for instance, Kiniros and Tiro of Miletus is a legendary creature you may use as your commander, and what that means is, apart from your hand, you also have this 8th card, which you can cast at any time that you can pay the mana cost, and when it dies, or if it dies, you can decide, rather than put it into the graveyard, to put it into the command zone, and recast it for 2 colorless mana more than, or 2 generic mana more than the last time you cast it.
And for those who play Magic but maybe don't know Commander, what's the difference in life? Like the way...
You usually start with 20 life for regular Magic, and with Commander, depending on your format, you start with 30 or 40.
That's part of what I meant, but you didn't let me finish. And how is it different in the way your opponent can attack you and deal you damage and win the game?
Oh, you're talking about Commander damage?
Yes.
So, along with having 30 or 40 life, you have what's called commander damage, which is when a commander deals combat damage to you, in this case, a 4/4, who does not have Infect, 4/4, dealing 4 points of commander damage, you need 21 points of commander damage or more to lose the game.
So there's 2 ways to die.
There are multiple ways to die.
Yeah, you can deck yourself.
There's one more than usual.
Less likely.
No, I know someone who's made a mill commander deck, and it's goofy, but...
sounds like fun.
I would love to put together a functional mill commander deck. Anyway, these are one of each of the commander decks. They came in a case, and I'm about to open them all up and sleeve them up. But first I think I'll curve them out and have a look at them. So I'll be doing that on camera, probably speeding through a lot of the layout stuff. So who do you think I should start with?
Start with your boys, because that's the ones you really want to do.
Alright. Stalwart Unity, a 4-color red, green, white, blue commander deck. There are, let's see, trying this new format. Contents: 100-card commander deck featuring 4 foil commanders, 4 foil oversized cards, 10 double-sided token cards, a deck storage box, a strategy insert, and a quick reference guide. So, let's see what it looks like. So that is the oversized foil commander card.
That's pretty. Would like me to move the garbage for you?
Sure.
Ooh.
Commander is a multiplayer format in which each player's deck is led by a legendary creature, known as the deck's commander. Now, originally, this format was called Elder Dragon Highlander. It was created by board judges, basically. People to use all sorts of cards that they never would have gotten a chance to use for other stuff. So where's the other... Oh, maybe... Where'd the box go?
Right here.
For... Oh, a foil oversized card. So you don't get an oversized card of the other 3 commanders.
Still pretty good.
And Elder Dragon Highlander was originally using one of the Elder Dragons from Magic's past as the general of the deck. People used to call them generals. Magic Wizards changed the name to Commander when they started supporting it as a real format to keep away from legal disputes over the name Highlander, because
the movies, yeah.
The reason that it was called Highlander is because there can be only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a singleton format. You can only have one of each card in the format, or in the deck. Your opponents can have one of the same thing in their deck, but... Alright. Shiny.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the possible commanders. We have the tokens, and I believe
they're two-sided as well.
They're two-sided. So I'm hoping this is showing up okay. Wow, that's interesting. An elemental looks like a goat with wings. Oh, there's a squid. Cool. Don't know if it's going to be possible to get closer. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
So, ooh, a soul ring. Propagandist for your safety. So this looks like maybe something of a control deck. Maybe not. That's interesting. She was one of the commanders from the 14 series. There's an Edric in the deck.
Ooh.
And a Selvala.
Interesting.
And a Crow and Horse.
No, I like the Crow and Horse. It's a hoot.
This is a reprint from Vintage. I'm not sure exactly where it came from. I forget, but people were excited to see it. Lots of reprints from Theros and throughout Magic's history. This is a land I think is pretty cool. It's new specifically for the set, but it's you can play it as a colorless source, or you can cycle it to fix your mana if you're off a color, which I think is pretty great. Very simple. Strict improvement over, say, Evolving Wilds. I guess not strict improvement because you can't play it turn 1, but or you can, you just can't cycle it turn 1 if you'd prefer to cycle it. Alright, time to curve this thing up. Okay, so, as you can see, the deck looks to be base green-white with blue and red as sort of a splash. Which I suppose makes sense considering that it has... Where'd the commanders go? Whoop. Big toughness creature as the commanders. The curve is moderate. Its curve bulges at 3, and then, like most commander decks, it's got a few 7, 8, and 9 drops up at this end. But most of the action still happens down here, even though the games go quite a bit longer. So I'm going to curve out the land and see what the color dispersal is for that, and then give my final thoughts. Okay, so I hope this isn't too confusing here, but I've got all the basics laid out down here. There seem to be an even number of each. There's one dual land in each color, although they do slightly different things. Do they? Nope, they all do the same thing. So they tap for both instead of tapping for either. Then we have the tri-lands that enter tapped but add one of 3 colors of mana. These are all tap for any color, although most of them have a drawback, like you have to tap a regular land when it enters the battlefield or sacrifice it, almost like you have to cast it like a spell. Basically, it puts you back a turn so it can fix your colors. And then these all fetch basics in some way. And then this is the single land that does something completely else, which is it will add a colorless or tap it so each player gains control of all creatures he or she owns. That just is in there as a way of dealing with mind controls, which are all over the place in Commander. So, all in all, I'm super looking forward to playing this deck. And I'm going to sleeve it up and have a look at the next commander deck. Before we go any further, I want to go through the Stalwart Unity playing the deck, because I didn't realize these little inserts, as well as telling you what commander is, telling you a little bit about the legendary creatures in the deck and the contents of the deck, tell you how to play the deck. So for Stalwart Unity, the Stalwart Unity deck is commanded by Kineos and Tiro of Meletis, the founders and guardians of the greatest polis on Theros. Meletis values progress above all else, and thus this deck aims to help everyone at the table advance their position. Casting spells which benefit all players equally is a great way to grow your own board while making allies and directing other players' aggression away from yourself. Because Kineos and Tiro of Meletis triggers each turn, you'll usually want to cast your commander as soon as possible. If you're using your partners, Ludovic, Necroalchemist, and Sidar Kondo of Jumra are both great to cast early, encouraging your opponents to attack each other. Switch out Ludovic for Karum, Ludovic's Opus, and if you'd prefer a flying threat that still draws plenty of cards. Helping out the whole table with cards like Veteran Explorer and Rites of Flourishing is an ideal way to start the game, developing your mana and making friends at the same time. However, you should try to time your Haymaker plays like Blazing Archon and Progenitor Mimic to ensure you can pull ahead before you're giving your opponents the resources they need to overwhelm you. So it's very much, people are calling this deck Group Hug, and it's very much about everybody wins, except hopefully the symmetrical effects are a little more symmetrical in your favor, is the hope, that things will be better for you than for other people. But I don't know, I'll have to try to play the deck to see. On to the next one.